Hello, I'm Erik. I ride scooters, this thing, and here's why you should focus on doing less better for more results, for more progression, for learning more tricks. So when it comes to riding and practicing tricks, the thing is almost always to go ride hard for several hours and focus on getting a lot of volume of tricks and burning yourself out in the process. Sometimes we all have those 6 to 8 hour days where we just ride and ride and ride, like we were 10 years old at the park in the summer. Sometimes it might be better to focus on doing less. It all comes down to quality over quantity, at least in my mind. You can do something 100 times, but you can do it really poorly and you won't get any results. But you can do something a few times, but do it really well and you can actually improve. And that's a lot more efficient than trying something endless amounts of times without actually improving. To give you an example, I often go ride for pretty short sessions. I like to have sessions that last for several hours, but sometimes if I have little time or I have to go work or I'm just gonna go ride in the morning alone before the guys are there, then I sometimes try to narrow the time of the session down so that I focus on fewer things, but I focus on those fewer things really well. Instead of investing 100 of my focus in 10 different things or 20 different things, I invested in maybe 2 to 5 things, and then I can really focus on the quality of those few things, and then that session will be dedicated solely to those particular tricks or lines. That's a pretty efficient way of practicing tricks when you're gonna practice very specific techniques to develop your skill. I certainly enjoy that strategy because it takes less time and it takes less effort, and you can sort of go in and be really focused. Drink some coffee like I'm doing now, or just get some energizing food before or whatever. Go in, really be focused, really have energy, and just go for it, like with all you've got, and focus on that quality, focus on doing less, but doing less better. Just getting the trick, improving a little, going home and resting, and then coming back later or the next day. That's actually pretty efficient. It sounds counterintuitive because it's, for me, often like maybe just 45 minutes of riding. For those 45 minutes, I'm only riding. I'm nowhere else. I'm just there flowing around, almost not even stopping to take breaks, just listening to my music, being in the zone, practicing my lines, doing one thing at a time. Those sessions are actually quite efficient in helping me improve tricks that I want to get better at. And another part of this, doing less better, is doing better with less. What do I mean by this? Say you're stuck at home or in your hometown and it's winter or it's raining and the only park you can go ride is pretty bad, pretty small. It doesn't have the ride elements that you like to ride, whether it's rails or ramps. Then even if that park is kind of small and inefficient for practice, it can force you to be more creative, to do more with less. That's what I mean by that. Say you have a local park that only has some small ramps and some mani pads and whatnot. Actually, like I do in the winter, my local indoor is pretty small, has a half pipe and some ledges and whatnot, a wall ride. But going there is actually kind of nice because it forces you to think creatively and push yourself in new directions and to do new tricks and new styles of tricks. I really enjoy that, trying to do more with less, because we get real comfortable with riding at the parks that serve our needs, let's say. But then to actually challenge yourself mentally and find new ideas and find new ways to ride old and boring obstacles is really nice. And if you can do that in a small park, and imagine what you can do in a park where you have everything you need. Really, really challenging yourself to be more creative and do more with less. That's today's video. Do more with less. Do less stuff, but do it better. Focusing on the quality. Quantity of empty tries isn't quality. Quality is doing something and improving. Though quantity of tricks can be good or bad. It's just the quantity, the amount. Then if you can make the amount real good, if you can actually repeat a bunch of times and do that with great intensity and focus on quality, then you can improve. And then volume is really good. But you have to make sure that quantity and volume actually does something for you, so that you don't end up in an endless cycle of just trying and trying and trying without actually improving. So that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little mindset talk, and I'll be back with another one. In the meantime, check out my older videos, some blogs there and whatnot, and my Instagram. And then I also have a Spotify podcast. It's also on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, and it's basically the same show as I do here, with some different content, some different ideas, strategies for riding better, for getting tricks more efficiently, for not giving up and all that. So check that out, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.